Welcome to my Monday morning mindset motivation. I'm Georgie Hubbard and I am so excited that you decided to spend the start of your week with me. Let's set you up with the mindset it takes to lead. Hello and welcome to my Monday morning mindset motivation. So it's another Monday and I hope that you had an amazing weekend. Today's topic for the Monday morning motivation is one I am super passionate about, and that is self-awareness. I truly believe that self-awareness leads to self-mastery. Because if you don't know who you are, what you want, what gives you joy, fulfillment, what you're passionate about, what your values are, you can end up going through life bumbling along to one day wake up and go, where am I? Why aren't I happy? Why are my relationships suffering? Why aren't I healthy? What has gone wrong? You know, like how many people do you know that get to their middle of their life or the end of their life and have so much regret? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be one of those people. And I, at one point, was one of those people. So in my 20s, I had a sales job and all I was focused on was making money. I didn't care about relationships. I didn't care about my mental health. Physical health is something I've always prioritized, but I was working out for all the wrong reasons, not out of love, but out of punishment and to kind of switch off as well from all of the stress from that sales job. And I worked towards this big financial goal, and I just, again, didn't prioritize anything else. To get to this goal, to realize that I had sacrificed my mental well-being, my relationships, and I was so obsessed with achieving this goal that nothing else mattered. So when I got to the end of that goal, when I had achieved that, I felt unfulfilled. And I look at, people and friends who I've spoken to who have spent, their 20s and 30s climbing this corporate ladder to get to the top, to then go, actually, I've been climbing the wrong ladder. Actually, what is important to me? And this is where self-awareness is so important, because it is, if we don't stop to pause to really get clear on what we actually want and what a level 10 life would look like to us, we can quickly live someone else's life. We can quickly get painted and sold this life that society wants us to live. But it might not make us happy. We're told, we're marketed to all the time, in order to be happy and successful, you have to live here in this house, on this street, and buy this car and have this set of friends and have X amount of children and this dog. And actually, in actual fact, that picture that society paints might not be the right picture for you. It certainly wasn't for me. So what I came to realize is, okay, what gives me joy? Well, I love walking nature. I love keeping physically fit. I love learning. I love writing. I love speaking. And I love feeling like I'm giving back. That feeling of contribution was really important to me. And at that time in my life, I wasn't really using any of those skills and those traits that really fulfilled me. I wasn't spending enough time in nature because I lived quite close to the city in a suburb that, I didn't have any fields or nature around. I was commuting for over 2 hours a day, so I didn't really have any time as much time as I wanted to, do all the wellness practices that I love. And I came to realize that I wasn't actually living the life that I really wanted and that I believed that I deserved. So it wasn't until I sat down, reflected, and got super crystal clear, what does a level 10 life look like to me? And I decided that looked like working from home, so I'd have more time to, be in nature, so beautiful long walks on the beach. I decided that it was living in a climate that was warm all year round. I decided that it was a business that allowed me to write, to speak, to show up and contribute. I decided that it was having loving relationships with beautiful friends around me that supported me. And then I went about creating that. So 8 months ago, I moved from Melbourne and I now live in the Gold Coast. Well, why? Because it suits my lifestyle. It suits what I wanted and what's important to me. And this is the whole thing. And look, I know people listening to this right now, and you might have a family, and you might have other responsibilities. But if you live your life for somebody else, you will not end up living a life of fulfillment. So it is, obviously, there is some compromise. There has to always be compromise and lots of communication. But this is when you have to get super clear on what you want. So then you can communicate to your other help, your spouse, your friends, your family, why it's important to you. And this is, again, why self-awareness is super crucial, because you can end up feeling like you're living your life for somebody else. And then that does lead to resentment. It leads to poor health, poor well-being, and ultimately, some mental health problems. So how can you build your self-awareness? Well, there's a few things that I did that I want to share with you now. I started a journal practice. So I wrote in my journal every single day. I reflected. I thought, who do I want to be? And then I thought, how have I been today? And am I acting in accordance to that person that I am striving to be? And if the answer was no, I asked myself why. I identified what my triggers were. When am I feeling really joyful and energized? And when am I feeling, down and unmotivated? I then started a meditation practice. I started sitting in silence every day and just being aware of my thoughts and what was coming up. And the more I did that, the more aware I became in my day-to-day life, the more present I became to then be aware of the thoughts and the emotions, and when I was feeling really happy and when I wasn't. So that really, really helped. And another thing I did was I really, really started to just pause throughout the day to ask myself again, how am I feeling? Am I living up to this person that I want to be? And just these simple practices, meditation, pausing, being intentional, journaling, they all really helped me realize what it was I wanted and who I was. And another thing that I did, which is super important, is I asked for feedback. I went to my husband, my amazing friends, people who I really trusted, who I knew had my best interests at heart, and I asked them, could you give me some feedback? What are my strengths and what could I improve upon? And again, this all kind of helped me build my self-awareness and this picture of who I was. And then I asked myself, well, who do I want to be? Because at the end of the day, when we strive for goals and we work towards things, it's not about the end result, it's who we become in the process. And I realized that, I wasn't living up to my full potential. I wasn't doing what made me really happy and fulfilled. I wasn't, living a level 10 life that I really wanted. And then, of course, some people say to me now, oh, Georgie, you're so lucky. You're so lucky to wake up every day and, go to the beach, or you're so lucky to, work from home and spend this much time in your home, or you're so lucky to be surrounded by nature. And I say, I'm not lucky. This was 8 years in the making. I designed this life because I took the time to get to know myself and get clear on what it was I wanted. So again, it's having patience. Once you identify what you want in your life and you start drawing in those experiences, it's them being patient and trusting the process. You might be sat there right now and going, yeah, do you know what? I'm living in this big city right now and I want to move to the country. Amazing. But that might not happen straight away, because it didn't for me. Again, 8 years. I came to the Gold Coast 8 years ago, realized that that's where I wanted to live one day. And I just took the steps over the 8 years to make it happen. So if you do decide that you're not living your level 10 life right now and there's other things that you want to be doing, well, again, be patient, but always have a plan. So what can you do today, right now, to move you forward to that future self? Who do you need to become? What skills do you need to develop? And then visualize it every single day. So big one today, self-awareness, something, again, as I said, super passionate about. If we're not aware of who we are and what we want, we can, like I said, bumble through life and, strive for things that end up giving us no fulfillment. We can chase dreams that, when we think that's what we want, but actually it's not. and we can miss out on life's precious moments. Don't do that. Let's live for today. Let's enjoy every single day while we work towards what we want. So use this time in isolation to get clear on your goals, to work on yourself, to build your self-awareness. It matters. So I really hope this helps. This serves you on a Monday morning. I hope that you're super pumped up. You're going to go and buy that journal. You're going to start the meditation practice. You're going to call all your friends and say, who am I? And what kind of person am I? And what do I need to prove upon? Because when we seek clarity on who we are and what we want, we really can build the life that we deserve. So have a beautiful Monday. Have a fantastic week ahead. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Mind to Lead podcast. I really hope you got some great takeaways and key learnings from this episode. To help us spread the message, please give us a rating and leave us a review. We love reading your thoughts and your insights and your learnings. And look, reach out to me. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm Georgie Hubbard. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm Georgie L. Hubbard. Let's connect. I hope you have an incredible day, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon.